Hey friends! So it is the end of the month. So I'm going to be doing my end of February check-in and wrap up, and Jelly Bean's here with me this time. Because he likes me right now. I don't know. But let's just jump right into the books that I read in the second half of February. So there is tomorrow, so there's a chance I can add another book, but I doubt it. So I'm just going to do the wrap up today. The first one is The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. And it says, love has a way of finding you. And it was a 5-star read for me. So I was having a hard time reading romance and love stories because none of them were they were just so not good. And my friends wanted to do a buddy read, and we all had The Way You Make Me Feel. So I was like, another freaking love story. Okay. So we did it, and I loved it. So there's enemies to friendship between the friends, not the lovers. Friendship, although that sounds repetitive. A food truck, coffee, and sign spinning. But no, it was so good. It's kind of a summary read, so if you want to wait till summer to read it, that's fine with me. But you should read this one. It was 5 stars. Then I read The I-5 Killer by Anne Rule. And I liked it. I always like Anne Rule's writing. It was a 5-star read. It was true crime about the I-5 killer. And there were a lot of things I didn't know about him that just it's kind of scary to think that people out there are like this and do this stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't see how people can be like that. But it was a 5-star read. I love true crime stuff. It messes with my mind because I don't understand how people can be so bad, can be so evil. It might be because I'm such a good heart, or I have such a good heart or something. I honestly don't know. I just don't understand. Anyway, let's go on. So my first DNF, actually the only DNF of the last part of the month, was Wrong in All the Right Ways by Tiffany Brownlee. And it kind of surprised me because this was on my 5-star prediction list. And I DNF'd it very early on in the book. Usually I try and give books 100 pages. However, there was a girl in the beginning who was 14, 15, I don't know. She was a young teenager. But her family took in a new foster brother for her. And he was 7 or 8. He was younger than her. And she kept talking about how dreamy and how cute he was. And I just DNF'd it. I don't care. Not happening. And then I also read Avengers Heroes Welcome by Brian Michael on my Kindle. It's just a comic book. It was entertaining enough. It was a quick little read when I had a few minutes before class. It was just a comic book. It was 3 stars. I prefer the movies over the comics, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. Then I read Matilda by Roland Dahl. And it was because this did not get picked for my March TBR for middle grade March, but I really wanted to read it. I was so disappointed when my dogs didn't pick it. So I read it. It was really good. I gave it 5 stars. However, I did think it was weird. If you haven't watched the movie, I'm going to give a spoiler if you haven't watched or read. So when my hand goes down, you can start listening again. Unless you don't care. But in books, there are usually a lot of details that the movies don't have. However, in this book, the details were not as many as the movie. Like, there's one particular scene that I can remember from the movie where Matilda goes to Miss Trenchball's house, gets Miss Honey's doll, and moves around her chocolates, I believe, and she broke into the house, and that didn't happen in the book. And that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. So there were a lot of differences in the book and the movie. I still absolutely loved the book, but I think I prefer the movie just because I think it's because I'm more used to it. But this was a good book, and I would recommend it. And then, if you've watched my unhaul video, you know that I did not read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving, but I already know the story. But it was weird because it's 80 pages, and I just couldn't read it. Like, I tried to read it a few times. But then I listened to it on audiobook, and, I gave it 3 stars. It was a good book. It's a classic, Headless Horseman. It was good, entertaining enough. Wouldn't read it again because it's not my style, but it was not a bad book. Then I listened to Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury on audiobook, and I gave that 5 stars. And listening to it, I realized that I have read it before. It's been so long that I forgot. And it was really good. It's like a dystopian kind of future with firemen and book burning, and it just makes you think about society. And those are the kind of books that I like. And then the one that I read today, all the way through, because it's just a small little poetry book that I won on Goodreads, is Carson Clare's Trail Guide to Avoiding Death and Other Unpleasant Consequences by Bruce and Carson McCandless. And this was such a cute book. So it was a 4-star, I think. Might have been 5 stars, but I think it was 4 stars. It's got really funny poetry that rhymes. Got some great artwork, like, look at this old man. Yes, the artwork is amazing. And then, after each poem, like old people, danger rating. What? Survival tip. Still working on this one. Or mean kids. So that is the picture for mean kids. And let's see. Danger rating. Mild but persistent, with increasing risk of headache. Survival tips. Avoid selfish jerks. They might blow up or take your stuff. And give till it hurts, but no more. So it's just like funny little survival tips and things like that. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was such an easy read. So let's see. I read or attempted to read these in the last part of February, plus the audiobook. So pretend there's one more here. But yeah, thanks for watching my wrap up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.